Welcome back to Why I Collect Comics. My name is Ken, and today I'm going to go over Thanos. And it's not just the character. I'm going over a limited series that Thanos had, and I think it was 4 issues. So we're going to talk about that. And if you listen to this as a podcast, then you're going to hear me talk about a bunch of things. There's I think 9 series that I'm going to talk about today. A lot of catching up to do. Haven't had time to podcast, and so I'm doing it all at once. Have had time to read, though. So always got to try to make time to read some comics and collect some comics. And yeah, so let's just dive into it, So here's my favorite line from this Thanos series. Even at our luckiest, we all end up as the body someone else has to kiss goodbye. Yeah, it's pretty poignant, right? And something that you wouldn't, I don't know, you think like Thanos and you just think it's going to be this badass comic and, the rule of cool. And he's just, this one got pretty deep. And that's what I enjoyed about it. Like right away, first page, ton of words. I know that sounds weird to say, but like I've said this before in newer comics, there aren't always a lot of words. It's a lot more about the illustration, and I appreciate the illustration, but also I want to read it. So I liked that there was just a ton of information right away, setting the scene. So I kind of knew that this was going to be a good series and that it was going to be a good read. So the first issue, it just like you see a wall of text right away. Like I said, it's very rare these days in modern comics. And I always feel like I fly through comics like in 5-10 minutes. If in modern day comics, like post, 2006, 2007. So the story that is told in the first few pages of the first issue of this Thanos series is just so damn good. All right. And it's good on many levels. So what's even better is that it's not totally obvious how this story ties into the overall story later on. And this is actually where that quote comes from at the beginning. Even at our luckiest, we all end up as the body someone else has to kiss goodbye. So, that's just like, imagine that. At your luckiest, you found somebody, hopefully many people that love you and that you love, but at the end, none of that matters. And so, there's gonna be times when you're kissing one of your loved ones goodbyes, and then in the end, hopefully you've left the world with other people who love you and remember you, and then they kiss you goodbye. And like I said, that's our luckiest in this world. So it's both sad and beautiful. And yeah, that's just I don't know. That line just sticks with me. This Thanos series is all about the return of Thanos from a black hole, which apparently he was banished to by the Guardians of the Galaxy, which I did not know. And the fact that Thanos is able to escape a black hole just continues his streak of badassery and shows just how damn powerful he is. And that's basically what this series showcases, is how powerful Thanos is. And if you enjoy Thanos as a character, then you're really going to love this series. Now, don't worry about this being like the on-screen MCU Thanos. If you thought that was like a kind of like a watered-down version of Thanos, this is very true to the comic book Thanos. And which I think is a better character. I wasn't someone that completely hated how the MCU treated Thanos. I thought it was fine. It worked for what they were doing and for their storytelling. And, Infinity War, probably one of my favorite movies. Not just like MCU movies, probably one of my favorite movies ever. It's just, that's something I could just sit down and watch anytime. And like, it just flew by. It was like over 2 hours, and it felt like it was 20 minutes just because it was just action packed and you were glued to the screen the entire time. So many great moments in that series. But saying all that, I just want you to know that I'm not like a Thanos hater from the MCU. Thanos is better in the comic books. All right. Just know that. So Thanos is taking on the Illuminati. And I can't tell you exactly why he is on the mission that he is, because that would be a spoiler. And I think it's better if you read the comic book and find out for yourself. But thankfully, the covers don't give it away either, which is nice and like seemingly rare these days. That, you know, like a lot of time the comic books, the covers will give away like a character that's kind of hidden in the first issue or two and like gets revealed later, like who the ultimate mastermind is, what the end goal is for this character. I don't think it was so much a problem back in the day, but now with like pre-orders and everything, you can pre-order something, you know, a couple months in advance. And so that you'll already see the cover. So it's kind of like, I don't know, they need to be careful about spoilers on covers is all I'm saying. Now, there are some cool fights in this, and you'll see Thanos take on the Hulk, which is always fun. And they also do a really good job of building up to that fight. There's just like, this I can tell you, is it's like they build up to the fight, and it's like, you know, the Hulk in like different states as he's traveling to where they are, which is pretty damn cool. You know, I mean, just think about the Hulk taking huge leaps across states and on his way on a mission to kick Thanos' ass, or to at least attempt to kick Thanos' ass. So I think this is the first comic that I've ever read containing the Illuminati. So I mean, yeah, the Illuminati just were not in a lot of comics that I read, and you know, they came in kind of more after I had finished reading comics. Like I'm really more 80s, 90s and before. Anything before that, I read a lot more. The 2000s, I'm not as familiar with what's going on in there. I mean, like, you know, most of what I know is actually just kind of like from playing games, usually online mobile games, which I've talked about before, like Marvel Strike Force. So I know a little bit about the Illuminati, but so I know a little bit about the Illuminati to be kind of surprised by one of their members. There was a member in the Illuminati who like is kind of a villain. And so I was surprised that they were in this order. It's not Magneto. And it's not Doctor Doom. But it is someone that like, yeah, I was surprised that they were in the Illuminati. Not because like they're not powerful. They very much are, just because they are more of a villain. So this is a series I definitely recommend for you to pick up. It's a quick read, but it's not a super quick read. Like I said, because there's a lot of text in this, and it feels satisfactory. And, you know, because sometimes when they don't have enough text, I know I just keep harping on this. When they don't, just like seems like, I don't know, I'm flipping through a picture book, and I want more substance to it. And I think if like maybe I appreciated art more, I could get like more substance in the images and what's being drawn in the illustrations. They actually have a cool thing they're doing now in the comics where they're like kind of teaching you how to draw, but not just, it's like one actual page, and it kind of tells you like, okay, you should shade here because this evokes this kind of emotion. And so it's not just telling you how to draw like those books, like, you know, you draw like, oh, draw a cylinder here and then a cylinder here and then fill it in, and then off it go. There you go. There's Spider-Man. No, it's more so just kind of showing the illustration and like the shading really, and how that helps tell a story, which I thought was pretty cool. Cause like, I think it's something that you're just not even conscious of when you're reading the comic, and to kind of know that, to like know that as you're coloring this in, you're like putting this into someone's consciousness, like without them knowing. It's like magic in a little bit. Anyways, tangent over. Pick up Thanos. It's a really fun series, and I'm kind of excited to see where this goes with Thanos. I am going to pick up, I've already pre-ordered it, Thanos' Infinity Watch. I think it's the Black Soul Gem series, like a 9-part issue with the different annuals. So I'm hoping that will be good, and I will have a review for that as soon as I get them all and read them. And yeah, so expect that, and I don't know, probably by the end of this year.